Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All Things Middle-earth here with a game suggestion, or rather the request of an undoing of a game suggestion. This one right here we're going to talk about in just a second, so stay tuned. I'm going to share why I don't like a specific thing in this update that I think is going to be very bad for the game, and I think the devs are moving in the wrong direction with this specific point. So stay tuned, that's coming up in just 1 second. Okay, so if you are in Discord, if you're looking at the announcements of the game, you should have seen this possibly, but not a lot of people read these things. So I wanted to bring it to the light and hopefully get some attention around it and hopefully get this thing undone as soon as possible, because I don't think it's going to be good for the game. As you can see here, it says that they are on this update, which is going to take place on the 14th. They are going to adjust the amount of resources offered, as well as exchange rates in the market, which will take effect after the next reset on the 15th is what it will be. The update's on the 14th. So reset after the update, they're gonna have this change. Now, if you don't think about it, this may not sound bad. You could even assume this could mean it's a good change. You're adding more resources, whatever. However, that is not the case. If you go ahead and pull up the Discord, which I'll do right now, you will see that we have some specifics on what this means. Again, I don't know if they felt the need to clarify this because they got asked what this was, or if they knew it was going to be an issue, but it says basically their reasoning is that the randomness, the resources that can be obtained in the game, based on how your market refreshes every night, leads to developmental differences between tacticians, which I wouldn't disagree that could be a possibility. I just don't think this is the way to solve that. They're saying this is an adjustment to balance out the gaming experience. So they are removing the resource items which can be purchased with gold. So the 8,000 gold for 100k resource, whatever your market's at currently, that's going to be going away. Remove the discount when using resources to purchase resource items, and reduce the number of resource items. So hopping over to the game, again, if you've not done this, this is in the market right here. You can exchange resources for resources at a 20% or up to a 50% discount. It's just random, and sometimes you'll get really good ones. Sometimes your market won't be great. Sometimes they're exchanged for gold. This current set I'm on right now with 100,000, it's like 8,000 gold. So again, it's very much a helpful way to let players continue to grow and continue to play, because what happens when you run out of resources and you can't do anything? You get off the game. There's nothing else you can do. So again, the market's a way for us to continue playing the game. So refreshing the market, not only does it mean we spend gems to do this, but they're really just slowing down the process of how we play the game in the really early game. Now, just in case you weren't sure how the player base would react to this, we have, as you can see here, 9 upvotes and 641 downvotes, or check marks, or whatever you want to call this. This is absolutely beyond unfavored as an update. So it's not something that they've had a huge outcry of, the affected gaming experience. And so those players are the ones that are yeah, I want to upvote this. This is what I've been asking for. I'm getting beat because my market refreshes are bad. Clearly a large majority is just not a fan of this. So a couple of things. I want to illustrate why I think this is a bad idea and why I think they're moving in a wrong direction. Then I have a game suggestion I'm going to share that we can hopefully get all behind to make sure this gets taken care of. Number one, I'm going to illustrate this just on the screen really quickly with a line segment. So I want to make this really clear. Hopefully the devs are watching this as well. This is my perception, so I could be wrong, but here's how I see the game. I see it as this line, okay? There's this line, this end right here. The one side is the start of the game, and this other side is the end of the game. And the issue that happens in servers due to various reasons is the point that the actual season ends is not at the end of the line. It's really closer to the middle sometimes, and players end up spending all of this time with nothing to do because their servers are completely done. Now, this has to come down to the population of servers, the actual just content in the game to do. But the reality is we're getting to the end point a lot sooner than they want. And so all the changes we continue to see in this game, in my opinion, the ones that affect the early game, are just to slow us down so we get to this place later. And again, to be honest, I just do not think that's the way to solve the issue. Instead of removing things from the early game to slow us down, I would like them to just add content to the end of the game that's meaningful, that's fun to play, that adds different objectives, whatever it is. Again, I'm not saying I have all the answers right now, but I definitely don't think removing things like the market. You guys remember, you had the red book that you get resources from back in the day. During each chapter progression, when you're starting the game, you would get troops sent to you from Gandalf or Saruman that would just let you continue playing, because here's a big shocker at ease. Some of us like to play the game. So if we are given troops or resources, we can keep doing that. It's not about having more or being unbalanced. Find ways to do it in a more balanced way, or make it so that the market guarantees a certain amount of resource pulls. Again, let's hop back over to the game. Sometimes you can get pages with 5 resource items here, and sometimes you get none. So make it so that there's always a guaranteed roll of resource items. Make it so there's always one for gold. There's always at least one for another resource exchange. Make it sure there's always one that has a 50%. Again, this was a wheat for at 50% cost. If you want to balance the experience so players have an equal experience, then just put some values in here to say, hey, you'll always get at least this much, or this is the most you'll get. You know, if they were just like, you know, or just setting it every day, you get 3 resource ones, 1 for gold, and 2 at an exchange, and one of them is 50%, 1 20%, whatever it is. Something like that. That would balance the game experience so everyone has the same go, not just removing it. So clearly, I think saying that it's like to balance the experience that players are having, I think is kind of not truthful. I feel like it's just to slow the early game, which is what they continue to try and do, is just slow the early game. Like I said, I was kind of using the line example. I'm trying to overemphasize how simple I think it is, where it's just like, if you look at the game as a line, they're looking at the wrong end to fix the issues, and it's a problem. So again, all that being said, let's hop back over to the Discord one more time. Okay, so here in the game suggestions tab in the main Discord, this is the most recent one as of right now. It's suggestion 2679. This will be linked in the description below. It's just very simple. I saw a few posts that were like paragraphs of like, this is the worst thing ever, which I agree with, and you should definitely upload those as well. But I wanted to make it really clear what we want done. Undo the market changes, undo the changes to the market in the 12-15 adjustment. That's it. Now, moving forward, if they want to look at adjustments that they feel do balance, if that is the need, then they can look at things where it's like, okay, every player is going to get 3 resource, you know, things in their market, and that's it. That's the minimum, that's the maximum. Everyone has a fair chance. Again, I just think this is a silly thing that they kind of try to sneak in there that I see people very upset about, but I wanted to bring some light to it. They so far responded pretty well to game suggestions. We've had things happen, I think, in part because of the attention they've gotten in this channel. So go with this. Again, if we could get this thing to a couple hundred upvotes as well. Obviously, their main post they posted in the game news channel is getting very downvoted or very disliked, whatever it is. If we see something here that's a very clear, short, this is what we want. Like, undo this. This is bad. It's not what we want. So this is down below. Go ahead and upload this again. Overall, there's actually some good things in this update. I would like to cover that maybe in a different video, because I don't like making rant videos, and I would love to look at the updates and go, this is awesome. This is exciting. There were a few quality of life things in the update that I was very pleased to see. But this was very glaring and stuck out, and I've already had several people reach out and say, hey, what does this mean? What's going on? Is this going to really impact how we play the game? And I think it will. It means you're going to play the game less, which for me, I don't want that. That's just not what I'm interested in doing. So upvote this post if you agree this change should be undone. Again, let me know down below if you like this change or you see where they're coming from. Maybe you feel like there needs to be a balance or a set threshold for resource items that can show up in the market. Maybe it is 3 or 4 exactly, and that's it. I wouldn't be opposed to removing the RNG, because there are days where I get like 1 or 2 resource items in my whole market refreshing 3 times, and there are days where I get like 10. So yes, if you're always getting a low amount, which is just RNG, and someone else gets 10 or 15, that's going to be ridiculous. They're going to get more than like 1 million more resources than you potentially, depending on what your values are. So I don't disagree. Some balance could be used, but not this way. So hit the upvote post on this if you agree. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, I'll see you all in a future video.